Okay, this is the very last day we're going to talk about investment. So once again, we're finishing up and we're going to focus on some math about retirement investments. So let's look at some calculations. I give you kind of three different formulas here, right? You've got retired minimum distribution. Remember, that's the amount that you must take out of your account once you reach a certain age, 70 and a half. Your penalty for failure to take a distribution, so if you're supposed to be taking money out and you don't, and the penalty for early withdrawal. So if you're too young, you're not taking out for kind of what they call legitimate reasons. So Bob Baines has saved $2,000 per year in his IRA for 35 years. At age 70, the fair market value of his IRA is $256,202.89. So he's saying over the course of that time, that money has continued to double and double. So even though he only put in like $70,000, he's got $256,000 now. Using the uniform lifetime table, what is his required minimum distribution? So if we look up above, the required minimum distribution here that it's asking for, it says, is the fair market value, which in this case is the $256,202.89, and we're going to divide that by his life expectancy factor. So Bob is age 70. So if we look at age 70 on the table on the right here, we get the factor of 27.4. So they're expecting him at that stage, when we divide this, we get 9,350.47. So they're saying he has to take out that much money, in this case, kind of per year from his account. If he failed to take out that much money, so if he did not take the distribution, right? Not take the distribution. So now we're going to talk about the penalty for failure to take it. He's going to get charged 50% of that. So 50% as a decimal is 0.50. So maybe in our things, we should maybe make that like 0.5. And the 10% 0.10, so remember. Times 256. Oh, sorry, not the total amount. So it's times the minimum required distribution. So take your answer from A of 9,350.47. And we end up with $4,675.24. Okay. Now we say if Bob had withdrawn $25,000 at the age of 50 for vacation, so that's not necessarily like a legitimate purpose, what would have been his penalty? So in this case, we're talking about the early withdrawal. So we're doing 10%, which is 0.10, times how much he took out, which in this case is $25,000. So you get $2,500. Okay. However, on this next one, it says, what if he had used the $25,000 for his children's college expenses? So you think about what his penalty would have been there. The fun fact here is his penalty is actually 0. There's no penalty. So that's one of those things they call like a legitimate reason to take the money out. So like your first house could also be things such as, education, etc. Okay, let's look at one more example together. May Kowalski is 72 and has an IRA with a fair market value of $98,000. Use the uniform lifetime table, which is up above, to determine her required minimum distribution. So we're going to want required minimum distribution. What would be her penalty if she failed to retake it? Penalty for failure to take. Okay. And what would be her penalty for early withdrawal? Penalty for early withdrawal. Okay. The required minimum distribution, remember we take the fair market value, which if we look at the formula at the top, which is $98,000, and we divide it by the life expectancy factor. So if we look at this table, if we go to 72 and I go over, we get the number 25.6. So as we take 98,000 divided by 25.6, we end up with $3,828.13. Notice how May's is a lot smaller than our friend Bob above because she's got less money in her account. So even though she's a little bit older, she's having to take out less because there's a less total amount in the account. If she did not take out that money, that $3,828, then she's going to get charged 50% of that. So we're going to do 0.50 times the 3,828.13, and she ends up with $1,914.07 that she'd have to pay. However, if she had, what penalty would she have paid if she made an early withdrawal of $10,000? So let's say like earlier in her life, before she was at that age of 70 and a half, she needed $10,000 for vacation. She would have paid a 10% penalty, so 0.10 times the 10,000. So she would have had to pay $1,000, which means in essence she would have gotten $9,000 back out of her $10,000.